I think next up we've got who we got, Patricia? Do we have Christine? I think we got Christine.
Yeah, I've got Christine here.
All right, cool. How you doing? Did you get the air in the RV tires?
Some of it, but I didn't want to miss you, so I'm inside my mom's house right now.
Okay. Well, some tires with air is better than no tires with air. I mean,
exactly.
That's the way I look at it when you're driving an RV. You know what I'm saying? Three or four should get you where you're going at least, right? Okay. How you doing? What's going on? What's your question this week?
Okay, so my question is, I know there's a lot of things to grow your business, but I want to know the number one thing that you think that would help me and other people. I'm doing YouTube and Facebook daily, and I'm guest podcasting, and I'm kind of at a stagnant point here. What's the best way to grow your membership, like getting new members?
Yeah. It all starts at the top of the funnel. Thank you for that question, Christine. It all starts at the top of the funnel. Like, audience is really all that matters. So if this is actually a conversation me and Jocelyn just had last week. We were drawing a new funnel out for her new business that she's going to be launching here in the next few months. I'll tell you guys about that on a later call. But like, we were drawing out the funnel and we were just talking about like, where are we going to focus our energy? I promise you that we will practice what we preach and drink our own Kool-Aid. Jocelyn will not be spending more than a couple days on any training that she creates. She will not be spending more than a day or two on logos and websites. We will be focused on content marketing, right? We will be focused on that top of the funnel. She's going to have a new podcast. She's going to have a YouTube channel. Podcasting and YouTube is where I think everybody needs to kind of be at. Everybody needs to be working through. Like, everything starts with content. You share content on social media, right? Your social media comes from that core content where you are demonstrating expertise. You are serving your people. And I'd say after that initial 1 week or 2 week where we set everything up to get the email list ready and all that, we will be spending 80% of her time on content marketing. Now, what does that look like for us? That looks like creating great content. We really think hard about the content that we put out there because we want it to be entertaining. We want it to be educational. We want it to be informative. We're not just dumping as much out as possible. We want to really think it through what we're actually putting out there. We want to have great interviews with our people. We want to have make sure our content is good. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing is we will be focusing on guesting. Jocelyn will be having guests onto her podcast, and she will probably be going out on to other people's podcasts as well, because that is a great strategy to get in front of other people's audiences. Now, that's organic content marketing. It is a grind, y'all. If there's only two resources that you have. You can roll up your sleeves or you can open your wallet. And when you roll up your sleeves, that means you are spending time, which means you've got to be consistent and prolific and relentless over time until you get to the tipping point, right? Flip Lifestyle came out of the gate pretty good. We were getting some traction. And then one guesting appearance finally blew us the lid off this thing, okay? And that's where what made it the company that it is today, right? But it was like, I'm going to go every podcast. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do as much as I can. Like, it is a grind when you're doing organic marketing. Right? If you want it to go faster, then you buy ads. What do you buy ads for? I actually believe right now the best place you can spend ad money is on eyeballs. Like, get people to know about you. Like, awareness is everything, right? Like, if you're unknown, you've got to become known. And if you can spend money on ads, you can become known faster. Right? That's just it. For example, on an earlier caller, we had, I talked about Guestio. Like, that's basically paying ads for marketing. Like, you can go to a company like Guestio and say, hey, listen, I've been doing a lot of guesting on small podcasts that don't have audiences. I want you to put me on a podcast that's got 5,000 listeners a month. Here's money to do that. And you pay an agency to go faster, right? Like, think of organic marketing as pull cart marketing. Like, if you're pulling a cart with stuff in it, like, the olden days, right? You're going to get from your little village to the town eventually, right? You're moving forward. You're making progress, but you're sweat off your brow. It's time. It's slower. Now, imagine you invent the locomotive and you got a train and you're shoveling coal into it. That's fuel. That's what money is, right? Money is energy. Right? You work hard, get money in. You now have a collection of energy. You can expand that energy out to other people. So that's the only, there is no other way. Like, I wish there was another way to grow a business, y'all. I really do. But it's roll up your sleeves or open your wallet. The world runs on content. So you have to have great content, even if you're running ads. And if you're going totally organic with no investment, then you've got to build relationships to get on guest appearances. You've got to find bigger shows to be on. It's great if you're doing guesting, but if you've only done 20 shows and those 20 people only have 10 people apiece, you only have 200 people listening, right? You've got to go look at audiences, look at reviews. If someone's got 1,000 reviews or 500 reviews, they've got a big audience. Try to get on that show, right? And work your way into that. Get organic. Like we have done organic paths to many successful businesses. It's fine. When we started out, our first 3 businesses, we had to do this. I have practiced what I've preached. I have rolled up my sleeves. I have been consistent, prolific, and relentless on a daily basis for 18 straight months to build a brand. I've done it. I know exactly how to do it, right? You can do the same thing. Or if you do have ways to get money for ads, like a lot of people go freelance, go do a side hustle, go have yard sales. I've done all these things, by the way. I'm not just telling you to do it. These are things I've done to make the extra $1,000 to magnify it over here to get more people onto my brand and buy my way in. You can work your way in or you can buy your way in, right? That's the only 2 paths to get an audience and to get people on your list. It's not easy, but it is pretty simple. Like those are the 2 paths to actually get there. So make sure you're doing those things. Make sure you're being strategic too. Don't just go on any podcast. Go try to find someone with 1,000 downloads. Go try to find someone with 5,000 downloads. Look for people with over 100 reviews. See if you can get on those shows. Those people probably have a decent listener base, right? So keep the organic strategy. Be super strategic about it. And then spend money. Like go make money to spend money. Think of this analogy. Like when you're an owner of a company, right? Like why would I hire people? I think it's a mistake that people make when they're like, I'm going to hire people to take things off my plate. That's not really what you're doing. That's a crazy way to think about building like a team. And I'm going to tie this back to memberships. Like when I hire someone, okay, what I'm really trying to do is double my output. Like I actually think I worked more hours when I started hiring people, but I started working focused hours on what I was really good at, like speaking and things like that. When I hire someone, I want to meet with them on Monday. And after I meet with them on Monday, I want to meet with them for an hour and then they go spend 40 hours doing their job, right? Because now I have magnified my 1 hour into 40. And if I have 10 people, I can magnify 10 hours into 400 hours, right? So like, it's the same thing with ads. Like you go, like, let's say you go work a freelance job and you make $200, right? So you spent like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours and you made $200, but then you could go on 100 podcasts, or you could just pay $200 in ads and magnify that out and get in front of 20,000 people with your stuff. So like that's the games we're playing is how can we magnify? How can we leverage our time and money so that we can get in front of more people, right? And those are the 2 paths. That's why if you really pay attention to what we do here, and that's why we're so big on don't do too many things, don't do too many things. It's like have a great YouTube channel and podcast. Share them in specific social media networks. Do both. Go hard in the paint on getting organic opportunities and go do something to create some money somewhere. I don't care if you got to mow a yard and then pay for an ad to show that content to more people so that your email list grows, so that more people goes. Because at the end of the day, you have to grow an audience, you have to build an email list, and you have to invite them to something live and do a webinar and sell something cool. And with an offer that converts. Like that's it, guys. But we've got to put in the grind and we've got to invest the energy. Was that a good answer? Do y'all like that answer? Like sometimes I'm hardcore, man. I don't really mess around. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it and go like, just try. Like these are the ways you grow businesses. This is how it's done, right? We will always tell you the exact truth and the path to success here at Flip Lifestyle.